Ms. Kaminga, Ms. Chavez, they're both teachers that have really been thoughtful in their teaching and their practices. Our students today, post-COVID, you have to change the way that you teach. And both of them have done a great job at doing that. We're understanding that students need to get up and they need to get out of their seats and they need to be working and actually solving the problems and coming up with their own ideas as to what the answer should be, and not just being, this is the answer. And so I'm really proud of the change that they have made, and I think it's made a huge difference with our scores and just with our students.
One thing that we started last year is we do monthly collaborative meetings, and I definitely think that's first of all, that's helped build unity within our department. We talk about best practices for teaching math. The other day we looked at all of our focus standards based on previous assessment data. So talk about different strategies that we're using, be that models or manipulatives or teaching practices or resources.
We have a lot of students who like to give up, so we're trying to think of ways to help them persevere. And one thing that we've been trying, a couple of us have tried working at the whiteboards. The whiteboards have helped because students are working together and they get to socialize a little bit while they're also working, and they're more willing to try something that they're not sure about because they know they can erase that work.
Okay, now we need to figure out what.
I both strongly believe that math is more than just, remembering facts and knowing how to multiply and divide and knowing all of the things by heart and things like that. And so we both feel strongly about allowing students time to explore in the classroom and to experiment with different strategies and to think about things in different ways. Oh, so you're wondering?
The group work, yes, it does, because I get to see my point of view and others' points of view. And the whiteboards, that also helps me because if I make a mistake, I could easily erase it.
Yeah, exactly. So I really felt drawn to this collaborative method of working at the whiteboards, which I was turned on to by professional developments that was offered by APS to the math teachers, so that was really helpful. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to fill a need for them. They have these needs, they have these social needs, they want to work together, they want to talk, they want to communicate. And I'm like, okay, let's talk, but you're going to be talking about math.
Okay. So, su toca siempre es observar y preguntar.
I try to get my students working at whiteboards as much as I can and not have them sitting in their chairs all day long. And I first learned about that at the middle school math PD that was in the fall of last year with the book Building Thinking Classrooms. And then I've seen some other teachers around APS using those strategies. It was really nerve-wracking at first to get students out of their seats and work on whiteboards because I thought it was going to be like a train wreck of people wandering around the room and not being focused, but it's that just change of scenery gets people way more engaged, and so that's something that I do almost every day. I have students working out of their seats, standing up, usually at a whiteboard.
What's 6 times 2? 18. No, 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18.
Bilingual math classroom isn't integrating as much Spanish vocabulary as I can, usually focusing on using academic vocabulary with them. So teaching all of the math words, area, surface area, volume, sum, multiply, all of that is in Spanish, and then if I have to revert into English to do my behavior management, that's what I do. We have a really big focus on vocabulary and learning those words in both languages and using the words in both languages.
Miss Alma is using visual examples that is helping me understand how to solve it. Sometimes I don't understand words in English, so and then she repeats herself in Spanish, and then I understand what she's saying in English.
It's really important just as getting more linguistic diversity into educational spaces and valuing languages that aren't English and giving them a place within institutions is really important.